Hello everyone, this is Deepak Gupta from Sourcing Hardware. Many of you in the hardware and the home improvement and bathroom fittings trade would recall that in the early 80s, water purification became very popular across the country. At that time, in 1984, a small device was launched, a very innovative device that would fit at the end of the tap and purify the water there and then. This device was called Zero B. From 1984 till now, water purification has gone through a number of evolutions in terms of technology, design, standards, applications. And the person who has been at center stage of all these evolutions, and in fact has been instrumental in bringing many of these innovations to the market, is with us today. I am thoroughly pleased to welcome Dinesh Sharma, Executive Director of Ion Exchange, the company that owns Zero B. Welcome, Dinesh, to Conversations with Deepak.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Thanks a lot.
How is the lockdown treating you?
It's a new experience. While I hear a word called new normal. So last 100 days, it's a new normal. And what's going to happen after this is another challenge. Let's see how things open. But today, situation in Mumbai particularly is quite, it's a area of concern for all of us because things are still on the rise here.
So I would say we are one up on you in Delhi.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I know that. Yes. Delhi is also quite serious on that line.
So Dinesh, please tell us, how did your tryst with Zero B start? How did it all happen?
So when Zero B started, I wasn't there. There's a very interesting story of Zero B when it started. Our ex chairman, previous chairman, he was the one who was instrumental in inventing this resin, which is a part of this device, which purifies the water. And now we all know about what is called as CSR, but the actual corporate social responsibility, Ion Exchange was involved even at that time in 1980s, early 80s. And Zero B was a part of the CSR initiative at that time.
Oh, of the company's CSR.
Yes. So the idea was to provide pure drinking water at a very low cost. You have already described Zero B very well because that's how it started. And yes, I was involved, but I was not the key member here in Ion Exchange here. And I was involved from outside. That time I used to be in Delhi, and this product was invented in Mumbai. And the idea was purely to provide safe drinking water at a very, very low cost, so that this product can go to the masses and they can have pure drinking water. So this was the basic idea. And the name Zero B itself signifies zero bacteria, then zero viruses, and zero turbidity. So that's how it came.
But since then, how has this concept or the company grown?
So today, if you look at it, Zero B contributes to around 8 to 9% of the revenues of the organization. And there is n number of product in different categories in Zero B, which takes care of the total water management at home. So as you are aware that we are in almost all segments of the society, either it is community or it is industry or it is institution, commercial or residential. So in the residential also, we have a whole gamut of products which takes care of the total water management at your home.
Okay.
So we have a huge range of products.
When did you get involved, and what was your role going forward?
I've been involved since 1987, but I would say I was more actively got involved in 2000 onwards.
Okay.
And initially it was more on the strategic role. Then I came on the board of the company, and then definitely you have to look after everything then. So either it is innovation or it is R&D or it is product or marketing, everything you have to get involved in.
So Zero B forms a small part of Ion Exchange total business.
Yes.
So what are the other businesses that Ion Exchange is involved in?
Okay, so we are into largely into industrial water treatment company, and we have a whole range of water treatment equipment for process, as well as for, we have chemicals, we have resins. So these are the services, products which we provide. We provide wastewater treatment, recycle of water, so for industries. So you name any industry, either it is pharma, it is food or beverage, it is power industry, from where you get electricity, from where you get your water at your home. So we are involved in most of these places. So whatever you are eating, whatever you are drinking, somewhere we are involved in the process itself. So that has been the history of last 56 years of Ion Exchange, that we are involved in almost all segments.
Okay. So water is pervasive in all aspects of our lives, and water management has become a part of our lifestyles. In voluntarily or involuntarily, we are always concerned about how we are managing our water,
right,
how our water is being taken care of. So all through these years, what have you seen? How has customer behavior changed with respect to water? And what role is water management going to play in our lives going forward?
So if you look at when we talk about water management, it comprises of all type of water management, including industrial, community, institutional. But I think what you want to know is more on the residential side of it.
Yes, in our home life, as individuals, in our lifestyles.
So this particular segment has various technologies which has been used in this segment up till now. UV is one technology, RO technology has been used, UF has been used, resin-based technology, like what you talk about, Suraksha, the small tap attachment is a resin-based technology to disinfect the water. So there has been, these are the kind of technologies which has been used in the water management. But if you look at it today, the market is divided into two parts. One is organized and unorganized segment. And like we have organized players who are offering good products and technologies, then we also have a large chunk of unorganized segment, which is just supplying products without any specifications or standards. So when you talk about water management industry, it is more related with, kind of standards which we should have in the water side of it. So there are standards, but they need to be more stringent. Recently, government has taken a lot of steps, and if you know about it, that ROs have been banned in the low TDS areas. I'm not sure if you're aware of it.
No.
Okay, okay. So the RO technology, because RO technology generally wastes a lot of water.
Yes, right. It does.
So this has been a concern with the government, I'm sure, because if you have a 100-liter tank in your house and you have an RO, you will only get 20-25 liters of water, and then 70, 75, 80 liters of water just goes waste. So this has been a real concern for everyone. In fact, 10 years back, we introduced a product called Eco RO, which saves 80% of the water and only 20-25% water is wasted. So this technology was developed almost 10 years back, and the whole idea was similar because a lot of water gets wasted during the process of RO. Similar to RO, in the other technologies also, what we need is a more stringent standards, because it is purely related with your drinking and your health. So I feel though we have standards, government is taking, but I still feel in this industry requires more stringent, law as well as standard. That's what my feel.
But what implications are there on health of the consumers, if we were to use these technologies or were not to use these technologies? Would there be a significant impact if these technologies were not used?
Yes, because if you don't use, let's say, because RO is the technology which is currently widely used, and the reason is it's when the government says that you ban it to up to where the low TDS areas, where the salt levels are very low in the water. So obviously what happens is that there are traces of pesticides also in the water and heavy metals in the water. Now this cannot be removed by UV or other technologies. So you need a membrane-based technology, and so there is a challenge there, and it is very difficult because of the pesticide being widely used. Very difficult to remove the traces of pesticides in the water which we get our place. So that's a challenge, yes.
Okay.
But it has effect on this, and as you know that everybody is quite aware nowadays that you need pure water, and when they talk about pure water, it is largely we talk about the microbiological impurities, that is bacteria and viruses. And today if you ask, everybody is scared of virus, so that's been awareness which has been there in the past few years, that people want pure water. And when you stop RO as a technology, then the question comes is what is the next?
What's the alternative?
So alternatives are very less. We have developed a special technology and will be launching soon, which is called as NANRO, where the water wastage will be still further reduced than 30%. And for those are going to be for the applications at low TDS areas. So it should take care of pesticides and heavy metal, but at the same time doesn't waste water.
But so, what is the core technology that Zero-V or ion exchange uses? What is it that you have contributed, what you have brought to the water industry? What is that technology? Is that proprietary technology?
So we were the first company to have an RO water treatment plant in India, and then we were also the first company to bring RO product for home.
Okay.
So that was in late 90s when we brought RO technology at home. And there we used this membrane, and then we did a lot of innovation on that. Uh, we have a patented technology called HRR, which is high recovery RO system, where your water wastage is reduced from 70 to 80% to 25-30%. Then we have a technology, when we did a survey of the customers around 12 years back, what we saw is that customers also have one concern that the water which you take out from any water purifier, you generally don't always drink it. You store, you want to take away that water along to in your office. Sometimes you want to take that water and keep it in the refrigerator, or you want to store that water. And every customer during the survey, discussed about this particular thing. How sure we are that the water is purified after 5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. So we developed a technology called ESS. So that is electrostatic sanitization system, by which the water can remain purified for 7 days. And this is we have a patent on this technology.
Okay.
This has actually given us a lot of mileage, because not only in the pure residential, but also in the commercial areas, because you must be seeing that in the offices you have water coolers. You from where you
Right.
can.
Right.
So they have tanks inside where the water is stored. And if you open a tank, I'm sure you will never drink water, because that's what happens up in that tank. So we have this special technology which ensures that the water remains purified in that tank for next 7 days, because sometimes you're just gone on Saturday or Friday and you come back on Monday and you start drinking that water.
Okay.
Are you sure of that is purified or not? So these are the different technologies which we have developed. We have developed on the softening side, because you must be aware that once your water is hard, it is
Right.
difficult to even for bathing and washing of clothes and things. So that then we have a technology called softening technology, and then the resin which is specially used in this resin we manufacture for last almost more than 50 years, and
Okay.
these are all NSF certified resins. We supply them across the world in US, Europe, and other places. And we develop, these are all NSF certified because it is used for human consumption, so you have to get it certified. We use those kind of resins. We have special resins for softening. Other technologies which we have on the drinking water and softening systems. Now, but trends are changing a little bit, because people are not only concerned about pure drinking water, but they are also looking at healthy water.
What's the difference?
So yeah, so we are working on that technology, and very shortly you will see we'll be launching a new product which will not only give pure drinking water, but it will give you healthy drinking water. So that will have a health support, which will be antioxidant water, and specialized especially for the acidity problems and other problems which can happen. So that's a healthy water which we are which will be, that equipment will be launching very soon.
Yes. Okay. So is Zero B as a brand, is it present in markets outside India as well?
Yes, there are many markets it is present. Ion Exchange is present in 16 countries directly and through joint venture. And then we have channel partners in various countries across the globe. But Zero B primarily is present in the Southeast Asia, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and some Malaysia. And then in the Middle East, it is present in a few countries, and in Africa.
Okay.
And some, I think, few maybe European countries.
And is your presence growing there? Is Zero B?
Yes, yes. It is.
Okay. So you are positioned against the other brands of those countries.
Yes, but some places it is a co-branding also. Like
Okay.
uh, yeah, and some places it is our own brand, so people buy from here and they distribute in that country,
I
and
see.
they compete. Yes.
So what kind of partnership opportunities is Zero B offering in India? You must be having channel partners,
Yeah,
distributors, or franchisees. So
yes.
what's happening there? How robust is your partnership program?
So we have channel partners across India, and largely these channel partners are divided into two three different categories. So one are called as direct sales associate (DSAs). So those are the people who buy product from us and then they go house to house and sell the product. Then we have retail outlets from where our product are present. And the third one is the watermarts. We call it as watermarts. So these are basically sanitary outlets and the from where the customer comes and buys the sanitary things like taps and other things. And the same place our products are available because softening systems particularly are more sold through the watermarts.
Okay,
So
because that's
watermarts
the right time when the customer wants to install that solution.
because that has to be installed before the actually the renovation before you go inside the house. So because either it is centralized, these are all centralized equipments, so it's not inside the house. Water purifier you can always buy even after entering the house, but this has to be done before. So
Okay.
then that
So
has filtration system, activated carbon systems, and softening systems. So these are all installed in a series to
hmm.
pure water for all the purposes, right?
So is this? Do you have a very wide distribution network? All these components put together.
We it is been there for many years, and we also have a very ambitious plan to expand this further. And last 1.5 year, yes, we have expanded a lot in almost all side of the each region in each state. We are almost present there.
Hmm. So what are your plans going forward with respect to distribution? What
We
are
are
your goals?
we are very ambitious and we want to go further on this and we want to expand and there is where people have a lot of trust on Ion Exchange and Zero B because of the services what we provide and even the channel partners who are associated with us are associated for a very long time. And in between, you can say we haven't expanded the network, but now we are expanding the network across India because the kind of network what we have is not sufficient right now, and there still there is a scope of expanding our network.
You mean the demand is much more than what you are
Yeah.
able to reach out to at the moment?
Yes. Yes. Demand is also there, and we are not present there, so we don't get the business from there. So if we are present there, definitely will improve our top line also.
It is being seen that to be successful in retail, you need to provide a very good customer experience.
Correct.
So is there any aspect of customer experience in this business as well?
Of course, this is very different from all the products in the consumer durable side. Very different. So if you see all the consumer durable products which is available on the retail side of it or on the even on the sanitary side. So like for example, you buy a television. How many times do you need service? Hardly. Some problem, then only you need service. You don't need service otherwise. You have a tap installed in your toilet. When do you need a service? You don't need a service unless you have a problem. But this product is it's like your car. So you have to keep on changing filters. You have to keep on getting service. So it's a very difficult and different experience, because if your water, you're not getting purified water at your place, even you have a problem today evening, customer is not ready to wait even for tomorrow morning.
Very true.
So it's not like your television. If you have problem, then you can say, okay, I can see it in the other room. Today you can't. Water is something which is you need every time,
Right.
So,
There is security. It's almost like security.
oh, yes. So so this is a big challenge in this business, and fortunately we have been doing good on the service part of it, and we keep on evaluating also our service levels on a monthly basis. We evaluate, and we are fortunate we have a good team to handle this, and um, it's more related with the usage, rather than we don't get complaints on the product failure or component failure. But water is something, if you have dust in coming in your water through your overhead tanks or something, it will get choked. If it doesn't choke, that means it is not working. So if it is working, it has to choke.
Okay.
It has to choke. That means it is working. And if it is choked, then you want person to come and do it. It's not something which is easily you can do it. This is a challenge for sure. But fortunately, we have been we know this, because this is also a challenge in the industry. It's not only a challenge for home. If there is a food or beverage industry, it cannot stop for a minute.
Right.
If your home water purifier stops, you can still go and buy water from outside and drink. But if the industry stops, the whole production goes down.
Yes.
So we are used to this kind of experience, and fortunately, even in the residential side of it, we have a good network and of the service franchise, as well as our own people across India. So this is a standard operating process that if you want to start somewhere new place, you have to have first the service, then start the operation.
Okay. But is there any technology that can help you to detect forthcoming problem even before it arrives? Kind of a remote sensing. Is that possible?
Yes. In industrial, we already have this. And in the residential also, we have the provision. Only thing is, when you have this kind of an equipment, it becomes a little expensive. And everybody may not be able to afford. But we also have, some of our products have indications where you can see the life of the cartridges, how much it is, when it is going to be getting choked. And then once a customer is in the annual maintenance contract with us, so quarterly our person goes and cleans it.
Right.
But sometimes if let's say the customer is not available for service, is traveling or something, the home is locked and there is a gap, then the chances of failure on the service will be higher, so that you have to go and clean it. But normally our people, which is called as mandatory services, we keep on giving the this thing, and there is a monitoring cell at our central service station in Mumbai. So there they keep on monitoring across India.
Okay. If you go a bit beyond residential water management, a new thought is emerging, which is called sanitation economy, which is even beyond toilet economy. Sanitation economy talks about complete sustainability, where not only are toilets and particularly community and public toilets managed through technology, but even the output, the human output, the waste, even that is recycled. The
Yes.
water is treated.
Yes.
And so much so that this technology helps to detect diseases much in advance by sensing the output, sensing the quality of the water, the sewerage, and predict epidemics or pandemics or any other diseases which might be brewing over there. So
Yes.
have you any thoughts on this?
We have been working with these kind of equipment for almost more than 3 decades.
Okay.
And we have variety of equipments on the sewage treatment, sillage, recycle water, MBR, eco MBR. We have variety of products. And if you talk about home, particularly, no, apartment type, we don't have any recycle system. But like suppose you are a bungalow of 3 flats, we can offer you a system. Suppose there is a 6 apartments, 10 apartment, we have a complete sewage treatment system which the water can be recycled, and the recycled water you can very well use in the gardening. You can use that recycled water in toilet flushing. So we have been there in this for many years. All these terminologies are now talked about, but for 3 decades we have been working on this. So it's not something very new for Ion Exchange. And if you see many of the housing societies in Delhi or hotels or places, the water is completely, and we have equipments being installed for many years.
Okay.
In fact, there is it's a law. You cannot discharge sewage.
Right.
So we guide the customer that please do not only treat sewage, but recycle. So we guide them, and we have both the equipments to treat the sewage as well as to recycle.
Okay.
Both the equipments, and
Even
we have various kind of equipments or technologies are there in that.
it's being done at the community level also?
Yes, all cities have sewage treatment equipment. Now, there are places where sewage water, which is recycled from sewage, is sold to the industry.
Okay.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. So this is a common practice now, and it is the need of the hour, because everybody is aware that water is a very scarce resource, and day by day the quality of water and the quantity of water both are deteriorating. So the water levels are going down, and the quality of water, the TDS levels are increasing, higher salt levels are increasing. So if we do not manage the water now, it is very difficult. It is actually the area of concern for the country. Not only country, it's actually global problem.
Okay. I think Pune has taken a lead in this matter, the Pune Smart City.
Yes.
Where they are monitoring the quality of the sewerage through the use of sensors.
Right.
Remotely.
All the municipalities have started doing that. So they were doing in the past also to some extent. But the technology is changing every day. So if you put in advanced technology, you get advanced results.
Absolutely. Okay. You've got a very large organization. How are you making sure that it's a good place to work? How are you ensuring that the careers are fulfilling over here? You are an entrepreneur yourself, and there's always a sort of gap between the entrepreneur and the professional. How have you bridged this gap?
So first of all, I would like to tell you that Ion Exchange is an employee-run organization. So it's not a typically owner-driven organization from the very beginning. And if you have any idea about the water treatment industry globally, forget about India, globally, in all key positions, you will find ex-Ion Exchange people.
Okay.
Many people also call Ion Exchange as it's an institution, not an organization.
Okay.
And even in our, so this is one thing where you can, because of, it's a highly professional organization because it's an employee run organization. And here in all business verticals, the business leaders have the complete freedom to take their decisions. Many business leaders have set up their factories also themselves. So we have a very different way of running this organization. And these all leaders are also a part of a core committee who are involved in the strategy and planning. There are a lot of learning and development programs. People are given full freedom to run their businesses the way they are running their own company. New leaders are developed. They go and open new countries.
Okay.
They go and take care of the new verticals. So this has been the history of the organization.
Okay.
Yes.
That is probably the reason that Ion Exchange continues to be at the forefront of the industry.
Yes, and we are really proud of this thing because employees they are the main assets of the company. It's a technology company. It's largely when you talk about industry and everything, it's the people who go and design the equipment and then it's manufactured. So it's a technology driven company. So it's not something where people are coming, going. There are people who are working here, they retire from here. So this has been the history.
Okay. So does that give you much time to, sit back and let the work go on, and do you get much time, or do you have a good work-life balance?
Yes, that actually helps a lot. And we do have very structured review mechanisms, and most of our time goes in on looking at new opportunities or new business ideas in this thing. We also go and meet customers. We also try to understand what is the need of the customer, even in the industrial segment, institutional, every segment, and spend time with R&D and new product development and expanding the infrastructure in other countries. So this is where our time goes.
So other than business, I have an understanding that you have got another side, which is that of sports. In my earlier talks with you, I have got to know that you are a passionate runner. Not only that, you are a marathoner.
Yeah.
And that's one thing which you are really intent on. Why don't you share some of your experiences about this side of your personality?
So this is just to keep myself fit. And yes, you're right. I'm passionate of running, and I do that occasionally. But I think it's for everyone. Everyone needs to be fit, and when you do this, probably your team members also start doing that, and they also try to be fit, and that becomes a culture of the organization also. So today, if I see, I have many people in my company who are running marathons, and that's what is also required. It's good for keeping yourself fit. Nothing very professionally, I would not say I've been doing anything, because just you don't get much time because of your work. But whatever time you have, and you wherever you can, I try to do that. And thanks, you remembered that.
Which has been your most challenging marathon?
The recent which I did in February was very challenging. It was 35 kilometers Tata Ultra Marathon, and it was on the mountains hill run. So it was a really challenging marathon, one of the challenging marathons. So hill runs are always challenging, you know. So that's it.
So how do you prepare? Do you prepare for a run, or it comes to you naturally because you've been doing it so regularly?
So yes, I do train myself for 3-4 days in a week, and if you have to go for a event like 35 kilometers, you have to prepare more for it. For sure, you cannot straight away go and run 35 kilometers. You have to prepare for it, and before that, you have to do a lot of running. So as my coach tells me what you do, so I do that. So that's there.
So how many runs would you do in a year?
I have means not kept a target for that, but yes, it happens. Like last year, 2019, I did 19 marathons. So
okay,
this year I plan to do 20, but I don't know, because of COVID now, almost everything is closed. So just practicing a little wherever I can. Let's see what happens after that.
The closest I have been to a marathon is the Airtel half marathon in Delhi.
Yes, yes.
In which they allow the non-runners to run for 6 kilometers, which I walked and completed.
That's a good starting point. So I think, as I understand from you, is that you do a lot of walking.
I'm fond of walking, long distance walking. I do brisk walk.
Yeah, so you can catch up running anytime.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. It's not a rocket science. Only thing is you need to practice, and you should have a good coach to guide you.
I think most important is the firmness of your mind.
Of course,
the willpower.
That is required for everything. Everything you do. That's important.
Well, I would like to compliment you for these achievements and wish you all the best, Dinesh, in all your ventures, your sports as well as your business. And look forward to more good news coming our way from Ion Exchange and from you.
Thank you so much, Deepak.
Thank you for joining us. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, Deepak. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.